listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show, where wealth is empowering, purpose is crucial, and high vibes are non-negotiable. And now, here's your host, certified business coach and practical woo strategist, Sarah J. Loureiro.
Welcome back to another episode of the Uplevel Your Online Business Show with me, Sarah. This is an episode all about the changes that I'm going to be making in 2026. These are not usually things that I talk about out loud, but I'm here to share them with you because I just really hope that you guys can also see where you can make changes and shifts to your own business models to make them feel better for you and just feel like the trajectory that you want and the legacy that you want to build for your family. So that's why I'm here sharing all of this, is basically to inspire you, because I know that so many of us sign up for business coaching programs. We do some cookie cutter programs and we're just kind of okay, did all of the things, implemented all of the things in this cookie cutter program. It worked for this other person. It's working for me, right? It always works. The cookie cutter programs, if you're doing them properly, they always work. But then the question becomes, is that the model that you want to keep for your own business? And what I do is I do a lot more custom builds with my clients in terms of systems, structures, strategies, because I want to make sure that you're not just getting the cookie cutter. I want to make sure that you're getting something that is custom to you. Not everyone in my programs has the same lead generation process. Not everyone in my programs has the same funnels, because everyone has different needs, right? Everyone has a different business. And luckily, I just keep on investing in my own coaches and systems. But the best thing about working with coaches and working with systems is you implement everything that they teach you because you have to. In all honesty, I feel like the people who don't get results are people who just don't want to implement, or they, they make excuses about implementation. But I'm all for implementing first, seeing the results, and then deciding whether or not it's a model that you want to keep. And for me personally, I learned a big business model. I learned this business model that could potentially bring me all the way up to $10 million a year. And what I have decided about that business model is it's just not something that I personally want to run. I don't love having huge overheads. I don't love training 10 different people at once. It's not the business model for me. And so I've been working this business model for the past 3 years, and I'm actually going to be stepping away from it just lightly. And so that's one of the first things that I am doing, is I am really giving myself permission to do things differently. And of course, you have to be very careful with this once you do step away from a business model, because if you're not careful, if you don't know what levers you're actually pulling in terms of your lead generation, in terms of the people who are coming in, and in terms of understanding where your traffic is coming from, if you're just quitting things without actually understanding where your clients are coming from, you could destroy your entire business in a month. I have done this before a few years ago. I do not recommend it. And so you really need to understand business. You need to understand your client acquisition systems. You need to understand your traffic sources. You need to understand all of those things if you're going to make changes. And that's why I always recommend working with a coach, a mentor, or a consultant on changes before you make them, especially if you don't know how to do this yourself. Luckily, because I am a certified business coach and consultant, I can do these things for myself and with my team, because I have a really, really stellar team. And so we have taken some of the business models and the things that I've learned, and I have basically leaned out my entire business, where we are saving and we will profit an extra $100K next year just from these different processes. We're going to keep my ideal client the exact same. We're going to keep what they get in the business the exact same. We are just changing a few different ways that we generate leads and a few different ways that I manage team members. And so that's one of the first things, is just giving yourself permission to understand that your business systems and models that are taught to you will get you to a certain place. But if you want to create something that's sustainable, long-term, and that's going to be designed with your lifestyle at play, you're going to want to make sure that you're constantly reflecting on these models and making sure that you're redesigning them to fit you while, like I said, while not burning everything down, right? You don't want to burn your bridges. You don't want to shut off your tap in terms of your lead generation sources. You want to keep all of those things consistent, but then learn what levers you need to pull in order to really get a business that's more profitable for you in the long run. And of course, a business that's not only more profitable, but a business that gives you a lot more of your time back. And I know that sometimes those two things can feel like they're counter to each other. They're contradicting, right? How can you have a business that both profits more and gives you more of your time back? Because you're either trading time or you're trading money. But I would argue that once you install the best systems into your business, you're not having to choose between those two. You get to have both. And that's ultimately what I teach my clients in high ticket automation engines, is really how to be able to get both of those back for yourself. So those are some of the ideas that I have in terms of my own business and what I am focusing on for 2026. Another thing that I am actually focusing on as well is using less emotional language in my business. And I want to start focusing on a little bit more premium language, a little bit more technical language, and a little bit more corporate B2B language. And one of the reasons for this is because what I've figured out after running a big team, managing a really big business for 3 years, is that my favorite clients to work with are actually the ones who understand a little bit more of the technical parts, the ones that understand how businesses are run, the ones who don't necessarily need the emotional support as much, the ones who mainly want the technical support. So I love it when my clients say, I've just been working on all your modules. I think they're amazing. Here's my homework for them. Like, help me to figure out the system. Boom, boom, boom. I do it. Amazing. Right? The more that someone is already self-invested and has self-confidence, the better chance it is that they're going to succeed. And so those are the clients that I want to continue to call in. Of course, I will still have my emotional clients. That's totally fine. But I want to call in less of them for next year. And in order for me to call in less of them, I have to look within my own self, and I have to look into my own content and ask myself, where am I calling them in? Where am I calling in less of the people that I want and more of the people that I don't want? And how can I shift that? So I'm going to make a few shifts to my content, a few shifts to my ideal client in order to really reflect that. And in order to really reflect continuously bringing in that really amazing client that I know I still have, and I've still had a ton of them in my business in 2025. But I want to call in more of them. And so I'm going to be refining my content. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be focusing even more on AI. And even more on my AI automations, my AI systems, because the more that I invest in those, the less that my team has to do, the more that I take off of their plate, the more that they can get into their zones of genius. And one, the less I have to pay them, but also two, the better they are able to utilize their time. And so when I do that, when I incorporate all of these different AI systems into my business, it just makes everyone create much more refined production and efficiency within the business. And I absolutely love that. I've said this so many times before. Before AI, I was spending over 20 hours extra per week on my business that I now no longer need to do. So it's so much easier to be able to develop concepts and content and get things out there and to use my creative abilities better. And ultimately, that's something that I teach my clients too. And so you will definitely want to lean into that a lot more. If you don't know anything about AI systems, or if you want to get more familiar with them, we should definitely talk about that, because it's really changing the game, and the people who don't understand it are going to be left behind. And so the more that we can lean into it, the more that we can really take the internet by storm. But also, you have to lean on automation and systems the right way. And so if you lean too much on automation and systems, then everything just becomes bot-like. There's no human connection. And so the key and the trick here really is to make sure that you do have human connection in the right parts, in the right places in your business. And you have your systems and you have your AI in the places where the human connection doesn't actually matter at all. Another really exciting thing that I am planning on doing more towards midpoint of next year is I really want to start using more gender neutral language. And so you're going to see a lot of that in my content and in my mission, because I really have grown from helping women and really empowering women to own their own businesses to now helping families build out legacies. And that's truly something that I've been leaning more into. And it's something that I want to fully step into next year. So I'm going to be a lot more gender neutral. I'm going to be welcoming a lot more men into my programs. It's still going to be, primarily women, but I am also just very excited to start working with a more diverse group of high caliber premium humans who are genuinely here to make a difference and also are ready to do the work, because I have no doubt that once more of those people come into my programs and work with my team, they are going to be making amazing things and making incredible money too. And I can't wait to showcase them on our testimonials, on our client success stories, all of that kind of stuff as well. And so really amazing changes happening. And of course, changes always happen because of misalignment, right? And so there's some things that I have really felt shifting within myself and within my team where I'm like, I think that this is where we want to go towards. I myself am so good at strategy and data analysis in business that I have helped so many of my higher level clients make an additional 100, 200K a year in their businesses. And these are businesses that were already at six figures or multiple six figures. And so that's my zone of genius. That's the best thing that I can help people with. Their data analysis, really understanding who a premium client is, how to really reflect that inside of their content, and building out those systems so they can create less overwhelm from themselves. I'm not here to emotionally babysit people. I am not a therapist either. And so I want to step away from helping clients with that, helping clients with motivation. And this is just my honest truth, right? This is fully transparent here. And the more that I've worked with clients, the more that I've realized, yes, this is the thing that's the easiest thing for me to do. And once again, I wouldn't have known this had I not done the thing that was working, but then didn't feel 100% aligned first. So that's always what I recommend to people is even if you don't think that something's going to be the best strategy for you, just try it. There's no hurt in trying something. And then you do it, you accomplish it, you give yourself the confidence that you can follow something all the way through. And then if you don't like it, then that's when you start to change it. And I'm so grateful for all of the programs that I've taken. I'm so grateful for all of the steps that I've taken. I'm so grateful for all of the people that I've hired and all of the lessons that I've learned. Because as I now kind of jump into a new system and a new year of my business, I wouldn't have gotten to a place of full alignment if it wasn't for all of the lessons that I had to learn about misalignment along the way. And so that's another thing that I'm taking with me. I hope that that all resonates with you. I'd love to hear what you thought about this podcast episode. Did you like it? Is there still any questions that you have about it? Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. It's at Sarah without an H, JLOUREIRO. Let me know how you liked the episode. And if you have any questions, I honestly get so many DMs from you guys. And so I absolutely love hearing from you. And of course, if you liked this episode, it would mean the world for me. If you liked it, subscribed, leave a review. And then, of course, if you want to share it with any of your friends, that would be great as well. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you all so much prosperity in this new year in 2026. Let's get it. And I will talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. If you enjoy our show and would like the show notes and free goodies about how to grow your online coaching business, head over to sarahjlorero.com for more information. We hope you'll tune in next time.